students, I am Dr. B.K. Singh, Professor of Civil Engineering at Ajay Kumar Garg Engineering College, Ghaziabad. So, today we will be discussing mechanical properties of concrete. So, modulus of elasticity, Poisson's ratio, creep, shrinkage. So, these are the important mechanical properties. So, that we will be discussing in this particular lecture. So, here we will be discussing what is the importance of elastic modulus, Poisson's ratio, creep, shrinkage. So, elastic modulus and Poisson's ratio is very important in structural analysis, particularly for finding the deflections in the structural members and overall drift of the building. So, these are the things. So, creep and shrinkage is also important for the concrete. So, that has to be taken account while doing the design. So, here we will see the stress strain curve. This is the idealized stress strain curve, it is not the actual one, but this is a idealized stress strain curve. So, that has been taken from IS, that has been taken from IS 456 2000. Okay. So, that also you have to get downloaded for understanding the mechanical properties of concrete. This is the first about 20 page is very important related to concrete. So, most of the things has been given in that. So, with reference to this, so if you see the actual stress strain curve, so actual stress strain curve is like this. So, actual stress strain curve is like this. Okay. So, depends how you have tested. If you have tested in load control machine, so you may not be able to get this part. But if you have tested your concrete in a strength control machine, then you can get this part also. So, here instead of this is a parabolic in number, this curve is approximately 2 degree parabola, but for idealization this part has been made straight here in IS code. So, this part is 0.002, this is a parabolic, and this part we have to take straight one. Okay. Actually it is a parabolic. So, we assume that our ultimate strength is 0.0035. Okay. Ultimate strength is 0.0035. So, this is the cube strength has been taken here, a cube has been taken that we have discussed in previous lectures. So, that has been crushed, and after the crushing, because there is a certain platen effect in that, so they have reduced this to 0.67 FCK. Okay. So, what one thing we are observing here, as the grade of concrete, strength of concrete is increasing, this curve is going upward. So, even you want to have a more strength, so what will happen? This graph will be okay. So, this graph you have to use here. So, suppose you want to use this graph here. So, if you use this suppose higher strength concrete is there. So, this curve will be going on increasing. So, stiffness of this slope of this curve will be just going on increasing. So, tan theta is going to increase. Okay. So, according to Hooke's law, what is Hooke's law? Stress is directly proportional to strain up to proportionate limit, but since this curve is not a straight line, this is not directly proportionate. So, we have to consider at some initial part say about 33%, say let us say 33%. So, at up to here it is assumed that this is almost, if you see that from here to here this part, it is considered that this is almost 0. So, this is if you consider here 33% or some place they can take 50% also of the ultimate strength. So, if you take here 33%, so what it is observed that this part is almost a state, almost a state. So, here this point or you meet this point. So, whatever slope you are getting, so that is considered modulus of elasticity of concrete, that is considered as modulus of elasticity of concrete. So, modulus of elasticity we can define because this is you are not getting a straight line, this is for lean concrete. Suppose your concrete is not of good strength, then you can find this type of curve. Okay. And if the quality of concrete is good, strength is more, then you can get more elevated here. So, based on that, because this curvature is not a straight line, so this is having parabolic in nature. So, we have 3 types of modulus of elasticity. So, what are those? Is initial tangent modulus, tangent modulus, then we have second modulus, and you have tangent modulus. So, we have 3 types of static, we have 3 types of static elastic modulus. So, elastic modulus means we are finding the modulus of elasticity when it is loaded elastically, and there is an indirect method of finding modulus of dynamic modulus of elasticity. So, that you can find with the help of ultra pulse velocity apparatus. Okay. So, what here we are observing, suppose let us say this is the graph here, this is a stress strain curve. So, say I want to get stress modulus here. So, in second modulus what you have to do, you take this point and take this point, meet with a straight line origin. So, this is your origin. Okay. So, whatever the slope you get here, this will be Young's modulus of concrete, that is called second modulus. So, you can draw at any point, but generally we have a customary of getting the second modulus at 50% or 33% of ultimate strength. So, that can be taken here and you just meet it, whatever the value you are getting, that is called second modulus. Initial tangent modulus is there. So, whatever the origin is here, and from here, say let us say I want to draw for this lean concrete. So, this is the origin. So, what you have to do? You take the you draw the curve like this. Okay. So, whatever this curve you are getting here, this curve, that is give you the initial tangent modulus, that is going to give the initial tangent modulus. Another is tangent modulus. So, tangent modulus can be drawn at any place. Say let us say I want tangent modulus at this point. Okay. I want at this point. So, what we have to do? Just you take this in this fashion, okay, and draw the tangent. So, this is called tangent modulus. So, we have discussed 3 type of modulus, static modulus, initial tangent modulus, second modulus and tangent modulus. If you see the IS 456, so based on the test data, lots of they have done the testing. After that the testing, they have gone for the best fitting curve, and after the best fitting curve, they have obtained a empirical formula for different grade of concrete. So, we have here empirical formula. So, they have given a relation between strength and elastic modulus of elasticity and strength. So, this formula has been given in IS 456 2000. Let me see the page number 16, you will get this formula, empirical formula. So, FCK is in Newton per mm square. So, if let us say I want to find the modulus of elasticity of M25 grade concrete. So, you just take 5000 number and let put 25 here. So, this value will become 5000, this will become 1.25 into 10 to power 4 Newton per mm square, sorry 2.5 into 10 to power 4 Newton per mm square. So, this will be the modulus of elasticity of concrete, empirical concrete. So, similarly, suppose you are taking a M100 grade concrete, say I am taking a M100 grade concrete where compressive characteristic strength is 100. So, in this case what is the modulus of elasticity of concrete? This is a 5000 under root 100. So, here you can get 5 into 10 to power 4 Newton per mm square. So, what we are observing here, as the grade of concrete is increasing, modulus of elasticity is also increasing. So, this is the elastic properties, a modulus of elasticity we can find, and this is very very important for analysis whenever you go for the analysis of the structure. Okay. So, if you see here, you have find the modulus of elasticity of cement paste, neat cement paste, concrete and aggregate. So, cement paste is having lower modulus of elasticity, because you can see here aggregate is having higher. So, concrete modulus of elasticity of concrete is in between. So, this is for aggregate, say particularly means coarse aggregate, okay, and this is for cement paste. So, modulus of elasticity for this strength curve you will find. So, this is the value what we are getting. See, modulus of elasticity of concrete is in between cement paste and aggregate, cement paste and aggregate. So, then we have Poisson's ratio. So, what is the Poisson ratio? So, Poisson's ratio is nothing but this is equal to lateral strength by longitudinal strength. So, generally it is represented by letter mu. So, that is given by lateral strength divided by longitudinal strength. So, for concrete this value ranges between 0.15 to 0.20. So, this is the range we can get if you do the experimentally. So, what we are observing here? You are applying the load from here. So, due to this application, this is having a tendency of bulking like this. So, for making that we have to take a very sensitive apparatus to get the lateral strength, particularly you have to put the strain gauge to measure the strain gauge or LVDT. So, what is LVDT? That is nothing but linear variable displacement transducer. Okay. Then only we will be able to observe this lateral strain as well as vertical strain. So, in this member we have to put here this one at central zone, this side, and longitudinal side as well as lateral side, both the side, and finally we can get the result. So, here you can see here due to the loading the size of the specimen is getting reduced like this. So, say this is the the chain, say this is the lateral strain is E lateral and this is a E longitudinal. So, E L by E alpha is going to give you the Poisson's ratio. Okay. So, Poisson's ratio is also important for analysis of the structure. Then another important phenomena is creep. So, creep, what is happening in creep? So, creep is a time dependent phenomena. Okay. So, creep can be defined as the time dependent part of the strand resulting from the stress. Stress means load. So, creep developed under sustained loading. So, measuring the creep, so you have to have a certain apparatus. So, this apparatus what you have seen, that is taken from American Society testing material C512. So, there is a specification is there. So, this is the self straining type of frame, this is self straining frame. Okay. So, here what you have to do, you have to put the member, cylindrical member you have to cast according to the method given in ASTM C512, and we have to test it for longer time, because creep means it is a time dependent. So, we want to measure the creep for 1 year, 2 year, 10 year, 20 years like that. So, that observation has to be recorded. So, under the loading you have to find out the strain, how much strain it is going to develop. Okay. So, this test procedure, all these things you can observe here in this one. Okay. So, I will take another thing. So, what are the factors on which this creep depends? So, amount of creep is dependent upon the magnitude of the applied stress. How much load you are going to apply, stress will depend on that. Similarly, the age and strength of concrete when stress is applied. So, that is important, because suppose you are putting on early age. So, early age creep will be more, because concrete is still under raw condition, the full strength has not gained. So, early age, or suppose some age has taken place, so you are applying the load after 1 year, 2 year, 3 years, so that is going to influence the creep result. Then the length time the concrete is stressed. So, up to what time you have stressed the concrete. So, that has to be taken into consideration. Okay. So, these are the 3 important things which creep influences their values. Apart from this, that also affected by other parameter related to quality of the concrete and conditions of exposure. Okay. So, that is related to your ingredients also. So, what type of aggregate you have used, what is the percentage of aggregate, what is the maximum size of aggregate is there. So, that also depends how much actually you have put the aggregate size. Then type of cementing material. So, that is also going to influence the amount of creep. So, whether you are using M33 33 grade cement or 43 grade cement or 53 grade cement, how much percentage of fly ash you have put, how much silica you have put. So, that is going to influence your creep value. Similarly, amount of cement paste, what is the amount of cement paste is there, what is their water cement ratio, how much cement has been put in that. Next is size and shape of the concrete element. So, they have effect on the size also. Okay. Another is volume of the surface ratio of the concrete element. So, what is the specific surface area and what is the volume of the concrete. So, that also going to influence the creep in the concrete. Similarly, amount of steel reinforcement, how much reinforcement you have put, and similarly for pre-stress tendon, how much pre-stressing force you are going to apply. So, that is going to influence the creep. So, what is the curing condition, whether it is steamed cure or it is moisture cured. So, that also depends, and based on that creep is also going to affect. Whatever is the ambient temperature and humidity. So, relative humidity and environmental temperature is also important. So, details of creep, how to take consideration, you can get in IS 1343. If you refer the code IS 1343 2012. So, this is meant for pre-stress concrete, and even some part has given in IS 456 2000 also for plain and reinforced concrete. So, from there you can get what should be the creep coefficient. So, that is having very important work for the design of pre-stress concrete member. Even for tall building is there, we have to consider the creep concrete. Okay. So, creep is also equally important. So, another graph you can observe here. So, this is your elastic strain, this is the deformation. So, this is the time since application of load. So, this is the total deformation. So, this total deformation of a member is based on elastic strain, shrinkage strain and creep. Okay. So, as you apply the load on the member, elastically it is going to shorten, because stress, as you apply the load, due to this load, this is going to deform. So, this deformation plus shrinkage is there, different kind of shrinkage is there. So, plastic shrinkage is there, autogenous shrinkage is there, shrinkage due to carbonation is there. So, likewise plastic shrinkage is there. So, all this is also going to put in this deformation, and then creep. So, all together this is the total deformation in the member. So, here you see the another graph, here. So, in this graph what we are observing here, say here time has been taken for 1600 days, starting from 0, 400, 800, 1200, 1600 days. So, we have applied a strength here, and a strength per MPa of stress here has been recorded in this one, and starting by we have a strength. So, combined curve for elastic and creep strengths showing amount of recovery. Specimens cylinders were loaded at 8 days immediately after removal from fog curing room, and then stored at 21 degrees centigrade and 50% relative humidity. The applied stress was 25% of the compressive strength at 8 days. So, this research has been done by Hansen and Mattock in 1966 paper. So, from there this graph has been taken. So, what you are observing here? So, here this is the elastic strain, this is happening elastic strain, and this is your creep strain. Okay. So, this has been loaded, say after this period they have removed the load. So, as you remove the load, instantaneous recovery will be there, because something will get recovered due to elastic condition. So, what we are observing here, suppose a load is there, suppose a member is there, if you applied the load here, this is the loading, sustained loading, if you loading. So, if you unload this after the time, so this is going to put like this curve. This is the typical phenomena in concrete. So, always you have certain permanent set here. This is your residual strain. So, this residual strain is permanent set is here. Okay. After that, as you have removed this is the irrecoverable creep. So, this has permanently damaged your member. This has permanently damaged your member. So, that much strain has already occurred, and this part this one is the as you have removed the load due to the remover, due to elastic condition, this portion has come, and this creep has also recovered here this much. Okay. So, this graph is very important to understand the permanent creep and recoverable creep. So, this we have understood here. So, after that, concrete is also subjected to shrinkage. Concrete is subjected to shrinkage. So, concrete is subjected to change in volume, either autogenous or induced. So, volume change is one of the most detrimental properties of concrete, which affect the long term strength and durability. Concrete shrinkage is the change in the length per unit length. So, for measuring, what you have to do? We have to take the standard sample here, and you have to put in this test gauge, and here a special type of things we have to do it during the casting of the member. That time this thing you can put or you put here in this test frame. So, this test press, here you are putting the dial gauge or some LVDT you can put for getting the mechanical dial gauge or linear variable displacement transducer you can put, and you can observe here how much shrinkage has taken place. So, we have different kind of shrinkage. Plastic shrinkage is there, drying shrinkage is there, autogenous shrinkage there, and carbonation shrinkage is there. Carbonations, due to the carbonation also shrinkage used to take place, because carbon dioxide used to take from the atmosphere in the concrete, and due to that this calcium hydroxide present in the cement product, that is going to react with the carbon dioxide, and that they are going to make calcium hydroxide. So, those calcium hydroxide is a cubic in shape, okay, and this calcium carbonate is having reduced volume with respect to calcium hydroxide, calcium carbonate, calcium. So, reaction is like this. So, if you see the this calcium hydroxide plus carbon dioxide, that is going to react. So, calcium hydroxide is nothing but this is a calcium hydroxide. So, this is going to react and going to make CaCO3. Okay. So, this CaCO3 volume is less than calcium hydroxide. So, due to that there is a shrinkage in concrete. So, like that we have to understood all this phenomena. We have understood the this elastic properties, Poisson's ratio, creep, shrinkage. So, all this material we have understood, and we have to refer some Indian standard for shrinkage. Shrinkage, if you want to go in details, we have to refer IS 1343 2012 for shrinkage and creep also. Thank you.